So you came here to find out what the basic tools are to get started in diorama building. I'm hoping to share that with you with a little bit more information as well. We'll get right to the point, right to the meat of the topic as to what you need to start. And I'm going to say to start, this is really all you need. Probably under 10 bucks worth of stuff here. There are a couple other things that I recommend, and I will get into details about the things. So let me start with your work area. Let me start by introducing myself in case you haven't been here. My name's Rob. I'm 47 years old. I've been working on dioramas and arts and crafts my whole life. I've gone probably close to over 100 different hobbies that I've experimented with and enjoyed pretty much all of them. They've all been a learning experience for myself. And now I am focusing all my work on dioramas for a specific reason. But let me get started on the parts and we'll go right into that. Parts or materials, supplies. So, cutting mat. No, let me back up. Workspace. Your workspace could be anywhere. Dining room table, kitchen table, living room, on a TV, dinner tray, table while you're watching some shows. Um, the floor, as long as you can. Any area that no one's going to complain that you're in. Whether it be parents, spouses, loved ones, whatever. Set up shop and have fun doing what you're doing. It's a hobby. It's meant to be fun and enjoyable. Make sure you have enough light so you can see what you're doing. And if you're working with any glues or paints that have odors, strong odors to them, open up the windows so you get some ventilation going through. Common sense stuff, but I thought I'd say it. Now, my name is Rob. I'm 47 years old. I don't know if I said that already. This video might get edited now because of that. I've been working on hobbies. Yeah, I said that already. All right, so let's get into the materials or supplies that I recommend you start with. So a cutting mat. Um, this one I picked up at Dollar Tree. So the dollar stores do have them. Dollar Tree is now a dollar and a quarter and up or whatever. But this was probably like a buck and a quarter, and it's small enough that you could use for smaller things. As you progress and get into the hobby more, you can get a bigger one that'll cover your whole work surface. But I start off with something small. If you have a bigger piece that's longer than this, you cut, move the piece, you know, make your cut, a piece up, cut, move the piece up, cut. And where when the knife it cuts through into the mat and not your dining room table, where then you might have a problem. We don't want that. From there, I'm gonna go into right into knives. These retractable blade knives that have the little snap off tips on them, they are perfect because you could always have a sharp point. The styrofoam and most stuff, you want a nice clean cut. You want to make sure you have a sharp blade. They come in different sizes. They are inexpensive. I bought a pack of these off of Amazon. It came with like 10 or 20 of them. I don't recall. And if you want to upgrade, you could get an X-Acto knife. Um, this will be nice for some of the more precision cuts, your basic entry level kind of X-Acto knife, and then you could get the ergonomic ones. Again, I've had this one for like 20 or more years. Um, any sharp blade that'll cut through your cardboard, your styrofoam, whatever. Scissors, if you want to paper, cardboard. With all this basic stuff, you can make simple dioramas. Nothing on here is nothing you can't find probably laying around your house. Trash bags are made from trash bags. The the clutter, the litter is made from scrap pieces of paper. The trash bags are full of just scrap paper. Um, and then the styrofoam. The styrofoam you could replace for cardboard. So you could do the same thing, and we'll get into some of the more details. Ruler, preferably metal. You have a plastic one and you're making a cut and you're not cutting perfectly straight, the blade gets caught in the plastic. You're going to end up having a bunch of nicks along here, and your cut that you're trying to make might not be as straight as you want it to. If you could get a metal ruler, get a metal ruler. If you can, get a square. You got your straight edge and your 90 degree. So if you're trying to make a perfectly 90-degree wall, this will help you make that cut. You can still do it with a ruler and measuring, but the square edge in the future will help out. Some basic stuff, brushes. Pick up a pack at Walmart, real cheap. Get the cheap ones. You don't need anything fancy. We're making dioramas here. You're going to be using different types of paints and stuff to put down. Cheap brushes. These, if you're using them, the hairs might come out while you're applying paint. Pick the hair out, paint over it. You'll never notice it was there. Leave the hair there. It adds character. It might add texture where you want it. Writing utensil. So it's used for two things that I can think off right off the top of my head. You could probably use it for a lot more. Pen or pencil for sketching out your design onto whatever you're cutting out. Pen or pencil to make your lines. Once you score these lines in with the blade, you want to go through with a pen or something to widen up the lines. A lot of people to say use a dried out ballpoint pen so that you don't get pen marks. That's really the only difference. If you use the pen that isn't dried out, you're gonna get pen marks. Guess what? You're probably painting over it. You're never gonna notice those lines were there. And if you don't get enough paint over it, it adds shadow. Glues. So you have your PVA glues and your CA glues. What's that mean? PVA is white glue. Any white glue you can get. Dollar Tree sells it. Their brand is Jot. You got your Elmer's glue, you got your school, and you got your glue all. The glue all does work a little bit better or sticks a little bit stronger, I think, than your school glue, but it doesn't matter. It all works the same. So your white glues, you're going to use that a lot. You have your glue guns. You get a small one like this. You can get a big one. I recommend getting one that's dual temperature. Your low temperature you're going to want to use on styrofoam. If you use high temperature on styrofoam, the glue will actually melt into the into the styrofoam. It'll leave it'll burn right into it. It'll just burn right into it. Um, and it'll make a mess, and you'll be unhappy and questioning why it's not working. It's because you need one with the low setting. The high temperature you can use on cardboard and other stuff. You really don't need it. But it's there. CA glue is your super glue or crazy glue. Same stuff, CA glue, but it's super glue or crazy glue. There's all different kinds, Gorilla, Loctite, there's a couple different brands. I am not sponsored by any of these brands or any of these companies that I mentioned. I'm not sponsored by anybody. These are just where to get it and what it is. So CA glue, this is more for plastic. Do not use this on styrofoam either. It will chew right through it, like acid and burn and aliens and burn right through it. Trying to do this video relatively quick because I don't want a long drawn out video and I want to do it in one take. Last thing would be your styrofoam. There is multiple types of styrofoam. Um, this right, this right here is your insulation foam. Any hardware store, Home Depot, Lowe's, Ace, True Value, wherever you could find insulation foam. This is what they put on the outside of your house before they put stuff up to insulate the house from the outside, depending on who's doing the work. This stuff is great. This is my go-to stuff. You get this in 8x4 sheets, like a sheet of a plywood, big piece, at the hardware store. It's a little bit more cost effective. I think they've gone up in price into the $30 to $40 range, and different depending on the thickness you get. If you decide to go to the store and pick up a big 4x8 sheet, and you're like, "How the hell am I going to get this in my car?" This will make it fit in your car. They do sell a small 2x2 piece. I know Home Depot has them for $10. That's the last time I went. I bought a couple of those for $10. They're 2x2 sheets. They're smaller. You throw them right in your car. I have a small, I downsized and I have a smaller car, so made it easier for me that time that I went. Um, then you have your poster board. So your poster board basically comes in a 2x3-ish size sheet. You can get that at the dollar store. I've seen it. Walmart has it. Any arts and crafts store has it. And this is styrofoam with cardboard paper on both sides of it, used for school projects. your science projects and stuff like that in school if they still even do that stuff. This, once you have it, you could peel the paper off of it. If you just come in, get your nail under there. Depending on the brand or where you bought it, it might be a little harder or easier to get off. But once you peel this off, this is styrofoam. Now you can take this and take your knife, cut it out, score it. You got a brick wall that you could just glue onto something. With this stuff being so thin, be careful when you're cutting through it because you might just slice right through it because X-Acto blades and these, when you first get them, excuse me, are very sharp and you might just slice right through it on the first time. Short pause for a coffee break. Let's get on with it. Other things, cardboard could replace the styrofoam. You could do the same thing. It's a little trickier because it is thinner. If you're trying to make a brick wall in cardboard, I would suggest the easiest way is cut out bricks and then just glue them onto your wall. Um, the styrofoam that comes with appliances, TVs, monitors, computers, that white styrofoam that comes with it, you could use that. I do not like using it. It makes a mess and it's a pain. If your blade is not extremely sharp, it rips through it. It leaves these little styrofoam balls everywhere that are like supercharged with static electricity and they cling to you and they're all over the place and you're finding them weeks later and you're trying to vacuum in and they're blown away from the vacuum and okay. That's about as excited as you're probably gonna see me get, talking about messy styrofoam. So, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna post a series making something simple like this, using the basic tools. It'll be a 2 or 3-part series. The first part, what I'll do is I will just make the basic wall, the ground, using whatever materials I have. The styrofoam is so versatile, this pink stuff, cinder block walls. You can make other stuff out of it. You can make little anything, cut it out. As long as you have the artistic ability or creativity. As long as you have the creativity to think outside the box, you can make round garbage cans out of it. Just, shave it down into a cylinder, carve it, trim it, and make it look good and then paint it, whatever. But we're gonna start the first one with just using the styrofoam, some paint, which I did mention, Walmart, Apple Barrel paints. These are Anita's. These are actually from, I think, Hobby Lobby. Same stuff, but Walmart has this stuff, 58 cents a bottle. I mean, get your basic colors, get black, white, and then maybe 3 colors for whatever you're gonna build. So like this would be, let's say blue, red, and yellow. And then you could take your black and white to lighten and darker your shades. If you want red, lighter or darker, add some white or black, depending accordingly, whichever way you want to go with it. And yeah, so the series, what I'm going to do is the first part of the series, I'll make the basic thing using the basic tools. Second video, what I'll do is I'll add some more stuff like the garbage bags, the trash, maybe add something else to it. And then the third one, we'll take it up a notch, maybe add a second section to this with like maybe a storefront or some sort of, building. I like rustic and stonework and stuff like that. So maybe I'll do like a stone wall with a doorway and whatnot. And we'll try to keep the materials and the tools as simple as possible so that you can see this can be done. It's real easy. So my ask to anyone watching this is tell me what you plan on working on. Ask me, send me questions if you need help, if you're stuck with something, if you need replacing, if something need, if you want to substitute one thing for another, send me a message. I will be more than happy to answer and engage and interact with any and all of you. I'm here to share what I know through all my years of doing this stuff, and I want to be able to help anyone out there that wants to start out. Again, I'm 47 years old. I've been doing this for a while, but every day I learn a little bit new. I'm always researching and studying. Um, I'm currently, if you haven't watched any of my videos, I'm in my garage. This is my work area. It is a utter chaos. It's not Pinterest, Instagram worthy hobby, professional look. I'm recording on my phone. I'm using my AirPod for my mic right now. Holidays are coming. I did ask, my wife to pick me up a mic, so maybe the sound will be a little bit better. But in the meantime, this is what it is. If you like this stuff, you know, like it, subscribe. Look forward, tune in to see, a nice little build going from step to step and talk it to in a straightforward, no extra fluff stuff. I hope I didn't add any fluff in. That's it. Stay tuned. Thank you for watching. I look forward to hearing and seeing what you guys are working on. Later.